whoever casted Colton on Survivor should get a huge pay raise. They struck reality gold with that guy. Welcome to the Survivor Recap. This is Diana Watt, and we have a mind-blowing recap for you tonight. Those guys have lost their marbles. So let's start out at the beginning, and then we'll get to the good stuff, all right? The beginning is a reward challenge. Well, it's, them talking and stuff and Colton rambling. And then they go to reward. And the women kick the guys' butts in the reward. To which Tarzan, who I'm just considering he's just a blithering idiot. First of all, he follows Colton around like he's God. And second of all, he's like, oh, don't let him look. Hey, cheater, at the rewards competition. He's just a sore loser, and he's just a ridiculous guy. For his age, he acts, 14. He's not got a very good maturity level as far as I'm concerned. Anyhow, the women win reward, and the guys are like, it's just a tarp. They're just equal with us. Now, the only two people on the men's team who seem to be using any sort of brain whatsoever is Bill and Mike. Mike, by not speaking at all, used the most brains on the men's team. They get back to the island, and it looks like the women are going to fall apart because my gal Street, that's Alicia, and I call her Street because she's like a street rumble kind of girl, and I don't like her. Anyhow, she is again taking offense to something someone said, and I think, oh, good, at least that takes the target off Christina's back. But Street gets into something with Kat over Kat saying, I'm not very good at puzzles and I need to be teamed up with someone good. And she takes offense that she's not good enough. Whatever, go on, move on. So then they go to the immunity challenge. And the guys kill the girls in the immunity challenge. Alicia, Street, is in a pairing to solve the first puzzle. And they just don't do it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know, tiddlywinks and kindergartners could do better than these two women did. So what happens next is they lose, and Alicia's like, yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, we lost. It's embarrassing. It's so funny because she thinks she's safe. Dummy. Anyhow, we move on and we go back. So I'm thinking, all right, let's see the strategy play out. Let's see Sabrina convince her team to vote out Street instead of Christina. This I wanted to see. When all of a sudden Survivor went completely off the rails and we got just the most mind-boggling set of scenes to come. Colton, who is one of the world's most disgusting human beings, not because he's gay, but because he is elitist, racist, totally disparaging and discriminatory towards anybody with a disability. He is just disgusting, revolting human being. He is got his nose so high up in the air. He thinks he is so much better than everybody else. He finds out that Leaf, and Leaf is the little person, told Bill accidentally, basically, that he was on the target list. And Colton says, you're number one on my list. Well, Colton didn't mean it. Colton's got this racist, elitist thing going against Bill because he thinks Bill doesn't have a real job and he's not providing or contributing to the world or whatever it is. This from a guy who has a housekeeper. Why don't you clean up your own damn crap and then you can maybe tell somebody else to provide or contribute to the world. So Colton doesn't like Bill and he's got this vendetta against him. So the guys have immunity and Bill's like, thank God we have immunity. All of a sudden, Colton comes up with this harebrained scheme that the guys are going to give their immunity to the girls so that they can cut the dead weight from their team. Now, everybody, and I'm thinking that nobody's going to go for this. Come on, you can't. But one by one, these brainless idiot men stand around in a circle, and led by Bill. I'm not Bill. I'm sorry, Tarzan. If Colton didn't have Tarzan on that team, Colton wouldn't get anywhere near the way he is able to manipulate. But Tarzan is so busy worshiping at the feet of Queen Colton that he can't see the forest for the trees. So Bill says, well, we got to do this. We've got to give him immunity and cut the dead weight. And Bill's talking to Leaf. And he's talking about getting rid of Leaf, who mistakenly told Bill that he was on the chopping block last week. For that, they're willing to give up immunity and go vote him off. I don't get it. I don't get any of these men. So I'm thinking these men are standing around in a circle, and someone is going to say, this is a stupid idea and I don't agree, because it has to be unanimous. But no, Troy goes along with it. What? Then Jaybird, who's sounding like he might not go along with it, goes along with it. And then Bill, of all people, Bill, this was the dumbest moment of your day, was going along with voting, going to immunity, when you knew Colton had it out for you because you thought Leaf was the one that was going to go home. Dumb, 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 dumb. So, all right, we cut to the next scene, and it is Jeff standing at tribal council, and there it is. The men walk in, and Jeff's face. I'm not kidding you. He has not, I almost peed myself when I watched Jeff do that. So the guys sit down and he's like, what are you doing? And then we have the political discourse on Survivor that we haven't seen in a Republican debate, any presidential campaign debate like we saw on Survivor tonight. First of all, Colton calls Leaf an Oompa Loompa, a munchkin. He made fun of Helen Keller. If you don't know that I'm running things, you're as blind as Helen Keller. Well, let me tell you something, Colton. All these years later, guess what? We know who Helen Keller is. You want to know why? Because Helen Keller proved that there is nothing so large in your life that you can't overcome it. And I highly doubt that 100 years from now, anybody will know your name. So you can make fun of people with disabilities, you can be racist, you can be elitist. You're just showing who you are inside, which is a pretty revolting human being who needs to move to another country or galaxy, something like that. Anywhere but here. Survivor One World is not big enough for you, Colton. So in the end, Bill gets blindsided and voted off, but during the course of that tribal council, he stood up and said some good things. And, Colton says he has a housekeeper, but Bill stands up. He says, I work with people and for no one. And he tries to, at least establish some pride. I got to give mad props to Matt Quinlan, who managed to get himself voted off last week. Matt, you have got to be sitting there going, whew. I wasn't a part of that travesty. I feel so much better being a rooster than an idiot. These guys are drinking seawater. They're not boiling it. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, by the way, they wanted the girls to give them fishing equipment, and they said that the girls were being bitchy because they wouldn't give them fishing equipment, sort of like the guys were being bitchy when they wouldn't let them have an ember of fire. I love how things turn around. This group of guys are the worst I've ever seen. In the end, Bill Posey was a bigger man and walked off with dignity under circumstances that most people would not. They get angry, be faced with such hatred for no valid reason. So this is the end of my crazy Survivor recap. To me, it looks like a little bit of an island version of Revenge of the Nerds. Monono. Revenge of the Nerds. Maybe not. All right, thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye.